You're watching the most comprehensive market wrap that promises to spot the hottest movers in the stock market. Over the next 30 minutes, we take you through the top buzzers as well as the spots where big trends are emerging. This is Market Fatafat and I am Cheryl D'Souza. Let's get on board our team of researchers as well as guests for today. We have Manak Chopra from India Bulls Ventures, along with Vivek Iyer and Varun Hirimath from the ET Now's research desk. But before we get on board with Market Fatafat, pre-budget consultations are on for a second day in a row. The trade association leaders met Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to share their Budget 2020 wish list. Ashna Mishra has been tracking the North Block. Let's go across to her for the latest on that. Ashna, take it away.
Well, yes, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today met the representatives from the industry as well as the trade bodies. There were representatives from industry chambers such as FICCI, ASSOCHAM, CII, FEO as well. And largely they have said that they have requested the government to extend the corporate tax benefits to other sectors as well, non-corporate sectors as well, such as MSMEs. Apart from that, there has been a huge buzz with respect to the personal income tax slabs, as we all know. While some of the people after the meeting said that everyone has suggested for a cut in the personal income tax rates after the recent corporate tax cuts, some maintained that there was no discussion which happened on taxation as of now, and in fact there's a separate meeting that will happen with respect to the tax slabs starting on 19th of December. Apart from that, several of the players from the industry have requested the government that they should be listing bonds in the market so that long-term funding is available. There should be adequate liquidity when it comes to the bond market as well as when it comes to the MSME sector, as improving liquidity is the key in the current environment, in the way the economy is functioning right now. But yes, this was just the first of today's meeting. The Finance Minister now next week.
I think they very patiently listened to us. They've understood the situation, the headwinds in the economy, and they've looked at all the possible suggestions, whether it is to have fiscal easing or, which is what we've suggested, various ways to improve tax collection, improve demand. I think we need to put the investment in asset creation, and that we think will help the economy and especially demand.
We recommended that right now there's a competition among the states, healthy competition, in terms of ease of doing business ranking. But we said that make it this competition on the district level. There are more than 700 districts in the country. So this ease of doing ranking should be done on district level. Second, single window clearance. Then we said that how to increase exports. So we recommended that taking 2019-20 as the say the benchmark, as the base. If there is any incremental turnover, the profit attributed to that incremental turnover should be made exempt. And in case of MSME, we requested the Honorable Finance Minister to set up a dedicated fund for distressed MSME.
My request to the Honorable Finance
when it is unfinished, people will not buy until it is finished. So you'll become bankrupt and insolvent. Because of this, we have requested the government to review that GST.
And those were the trade association leaders after meeting the finance minister in the pre-budget consultations. But let's get on board with Market Fatafat. And here's the first stock that is in focus, and that is Federal Mogul. The stock is surging after Supreme Court order on the open offer. Supreme Court dismissed an appeal against an order passed by SEBI upholding the open offer price. And if you can see on your screens on back of that particular news, the stock is up over 18% in trade. Next stock that we have in focus is Equitas.
Sure. So, we've all just seen Ujjivan list their SFB. Equitas is going to have to go through the same thing. 1,000 crore IPO, they filed the DRHP this week. Actually, I think either today or yesterday, I'm not sure. So now we'll have to see how it pans out. We saw Ujjivan get a really strong response. Equitas is also a quality franchise and very highly regarded in the banking community. So their SFB should see a pretty good response as well. This will create a holdco effect in the long term. We did see that even when the Ujjivan announcement came and, they saw really strong interest, especially from institutions, it did tend to have a positive impact on the stock price. So I think that's what we're seeing with Equitas today as well.
All right, that's Equitas and why it's buzzing in trade. Apart from that, Infosys, the flashes on your screen is in focus. Infosys Deputy CFO Jayesh Sangarajka will continue in his role. Remember, he had quit Infosys and on October 15th. Management has not yet responded to ET Now's queries. Just to reiterate what the flashes are, the Infosys Deputy CFO Jayesh Sangarajka to continue in his role. He had actually quit Infosys on October 15th, and the management has refused to comment on the market speculation, and Infosys will be in focus on that particular news. But Manav, coming to you on TCS, another IT counter that is in focus, and why is it in focus?
See, the prices recently has seen a very strong bounce from its important support levels and has managed to see a breakout from its long-term averages. There has been a decisive break in a short-term charts, and the open interest is too suggesting a good momentum rally in the near term. So for a near-term perspective, one should definitely maintain a buy on dips approach, and I sense 2100 to act as a very strong support. In the immediate basis, we expect an upside target of close to 2250.
Maintain a buy on dips approach for TCS is the take coming in from Manav for that particular counter. Apart from that, BPCL is in focus. Vivek is here to tell us what's the latest on BPCL. Vivek?
Well, it's an ET Now exclusive. What you actually heard yesterday when our colleague Ajay Sharma actually interviewed Anil Agarwal, Vedanta actually told ET Now exclusively that they were interested in looking at the assets of BPCL. They said that the evaluation as far as BPCL is going on and due diligence is going on. So don't be surprised if you see a bid from Vedanta, and you heard it first on ET Now if it does come in.
Definitely. If Vedanta bids for BPCL, you heard it first on ET Now. But moving on, Tata Motors is in focus. Reports are suggesting that the company is in alliance talks with the Chinese firms. It's initial talks with a couple of Chinese automobile companies for a tie-up. Remember, China is a big market for JLR, which is a subsidiary of Tata Motors. Apart from that, from the auto companies, moving on to paper stocks. And Varun, why are the paper stocks in focus?
So there's a couple reasons, Cheryl. Primarily now the first one, which is pretty obvious, is that the expectation from the government SOPs in the forthcoming budget should be pretty positive for the paper sector. We do know the government is definitely negative on plastic and they want to ban the use of plastic as much as possible. So anything you can really think of, whether it's household items, bags at the grocery store, packaging for products, all that is now going to take a huge shift into paper as opposed to plastic. So that's the first reason which everyone knows. Now, if you also just look at the financials of all these paper companies, in another market like this where companies are debt laden, there's a lot of leverage, they can't service interest. This is a really different situation. Paper stocks are doing really well because their earnings momentum has been great, profitability has been good, margins have been improving, they've been doing capex and acquisitions with internal accruals, and there's been no leverage over here. Yet for some reason, if you look at the multiple, they still traded around 4 or 5 times EV/EBITDA. Now, if you look at other industries which have similar metrics, the trading average is much higher. So word on the street is that paper is also up for a big re-rating as soon as it gets some solid policy support, and that's what people are anticipating from the budget. So hence these paper stocks should be pretty active going forward as well.
Paper stocks should be active going ahead in run-up to the budget. Orient paper up above 12%. JK paper was higher by about 4.5%. The Manav MRF, that particular counter has been gaining for the last 4 trading sessions. Do you think that the bullish trend on that counter will continue?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the prices have seen a series of high tops and bottoms, and recently it has managed to take an important support at its medium-term averages and seen a very good bounce. The overall trend for MRF has been bullish, and we've seen a smart recovery from its important intermediate support. I sense the prices have resumed its uptrend from its short-term corrective decline, and going forward we could see a rally towards the levels of 66,000 on the upside. On the immediate basis, 64,000 would act as an important support, and one can also maintain a trail stop loss and hold on to their long positions.
Manav's take on MRF. Tata Steel, another counter that is buzzing. Vivek, definitely US-China trade deal is one of the reasons why these metal companies have been in news of late. But there is a brokerage report that's basically giving a bullish target on Tata Steel.
Well, if you're talking about Tata Steel today, Citi has come out with a report. Now what they're saying is that number one, they've gone ahead and upgraded the stock to a buy stance from a sell stance that they had earlier. Target price has been raised significantly to 550 from 330 earlier. And the main reason is that, of course, one of the things that you mentioned, the China-US trade was easing. This is something that is aiding to the market sentiment as far as the entire steel is concerned. They're also saying that they see significant demand coming in as far as China as well as the rest of the world is concerned. They see prices in India bottoming out, and they see that they feel a significant upside can be seen as far as pricing in India is concerned. On the back of all of that, they feel that there's a big rally coming in as far as most of the steel stocks are concerned, and Tata Steel is another stock that's definitely on the radar.
Tata Steel on the radar on back of that upgrade coming in from Citi. Apart from that, you have LG Equipment that is in focus today. The board has approved acquisition of 100% shareholding and control of Michigan Air Solutions. The total consideration for the acquisition is approximately $6 million, and that particular counter is up above 3% in this session. On that note, we'll slip into a short break on this edition of Market Fatafat. More on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat, and let's get on to the stock number 10. And Varun, Castrol is in focus, and why is that so? I guess we'll just touch base with Varun for Castrol, but Manav, RBL Bank is in focus. You continue to see bullish trend, and why is that so?
So the prices recently has seen a bounce from its daily support levels, and also on the weekly time frame, it has showing an early trend reversal signal as it's bouncing from its structurally support levels. So I sense on the immediate basis, it has formed a short-term bottom in place, and 330 would act as a very strong support level. So the range of 330-340 is where the prices could consolidate and eventually move higher. Even the oscillators have confirmed a bullish crossover. So in the immediate basis, we could see a short-term rally towards the levels of 370 on the upside. So We recommend a buy into this, towards the levels of 370, and even at the current levels, one can maintain a stop loss of 330 on the lower side.
All right, that is Manav's take on RBL Bank, but JSW Steel is another stock that is in focus today. And Vivek, what's the reason why the stock's buzzing?
Well, JSW Steel, along with the other steel pack, is actually moving up and significantly higher in today's trading session. Citi has gone ahead and upgraded JSW Steel as well, upgraded the stock to a buy from a sell stance that they had earlier. Target price has been raised to almost 315 rupees a share from almost 205 rupees a share that they had earlier. They believe that the domestic price rise will benefit this company a lot, and which is why they are quite bullish as far as JSW Steel is concerned.
Another steel metal counter that is in focus today. Apart from that, you have Magma FinCorp that is in focus, definitely down in trade. ICRA has basically reaffirmed the ratings for the NCD program for the NBFC, but they've revised their outlook to stay negative from stable, and that definitely is what you can see the stock reflect down about 3.5% in the trade today. Moving on then, NIIT Tech is another counter that is in focus. And Varun, why is that so?
Right, Cheryl. Really simple reason, actually. They're mulling a buyback. The board meeting's to be held on December 23rd. They have a fair bit of cash on the books, need to figure out an optimum way to utilize it. And being a tech company or tech-oriented, doesn't look like there's much capex to do. Human capital is the main asset here. So, buybacks are pretty common in IT companies and in tech companies. So we look out for how much exactly they're looking to buy back, what the price will be. That will determine a lot in terms of how the stock reacts and how the price action goes. So December 23rd, another week to go, and we'll have more details then.
Exactly, December 23rd is when NIIT Tech will consider buyback proposal. Definitely, you can see the stock, it's up over 10% in the trade today. Manav, Wipro is in focus today, and what's the rationale for picking that stock?
See, the IT space has overall seen a very good rally, and Wipro, since it is bouncing from its recent swing low of 235, it currently witnesses an important resistance at 240, which it has managed to exceed in past couple of trading sessions. The prices also on the daily charts has closed above the short-term moving averages, and on the weekly charts have made several bullish candlesticks, which indicates limited downside. At the current zone, the oscillators have generated a bullish cross, and I sense in the near term the prices could see a good move on the upside and could see a short-term rally towards the levels of 270 in the medium-term perspective. Recommend a buy into this and recommend a stop loss at 235 on the lower side.
Recommending a buy on Wipro is the take coming in from Manav. On that note, thank you Manav, Vivek as well as Varun for spotting those movers in trade today. And on that note, we're out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you for watching.